Hello, this is Tammy, Plays Well with Paper, here for the Whimsy Stamps Halloweeners design team. I have a really fun Halloween card to share with you today, and so I'm excited to tell you all about the products that I'm going to be using from Whimsy Stamps. Today's card is going to feature these products. So let's start off with the main event, which is going to be this bus. So a either last year or the year before, I made a card with a an autumn truck or something like that stamp set. And I had to fussy cut it and all of that. Well, I was perusing the Whimsy Stamp site, and there are so many great stamps, let me tell you. But I saw this one. This is the Karma Bus stamp set, and it has a matching die set that comes with it that cuts the bus out. And I was like, oh, that's perfect because the filler truck I had to stamp and cut out myself. So this is going to make this so much easier to be able to just stamp it and cut it out like that. And I love that it cuts the window. So I am pairing this with some of the really fun monster stamps and dies that Whimsy has come out with this year. They are so cute. And so they have matching outline dies. This is the Monster Cuties and the Monster Moods. And there's, I think, three or four, maybe even five monster stamp sets that Whimsy released throughout the year this year. And they're for like anything, me before coffee, hello, I like your brand of crazy, matches mine. So these can be cards that you send to friends, birthday cards, really for any occasion. And the monsters are so cute. They're not scary at all. And I love that for Halloween. I love a fun, silly Halloween. And so I wanted to pair these monsters with the bus and have them kind of filling it like they were filling the autumn truck in my other card. So I'm going to have this bus driving through somewhere, and that somewhere is from the Haunted paper pack. This is double-sided paper, and I have pulled this paper from the Haunted pack. I thought that looked perfect to have the bus right here, right? And so it's just a little bit scary, but not too scary with those trees and things like that. Really fun. And the bus will be there. And then I thought some of these monsters, I can color them, I can cut them out with dies, I can fussy cut them, whatever I want if I want more detail. But like this guy, I thought it would be fun to have him with his long neck, kind of his head sticking out the side of the bus here. I thought maybe the eyes, it would be funny if the eyes were just kind of popping up here. That's maybe pretty much all you saw. Then I like this guy. I think he's funny. And if he was on the front of the bus, like, wait, hold on, I want to go with you guys. If he was, out here in front. And then just, if you just had little bits of some of these funny little guys just all piled in here. That's my plan for this one. And I think it's going to be super fun. So I want to invite you to come along and let's get making. As with any card, it begins with stamping your images. And so for me, I stamp my images in Distress Archival ink and black soot. And I stamp on Distress watercolor cardstock. And then I'm coloring everything in with Distress inks. So I have some Distress inks that I've smushed from the pad onto my new white studio mat from Tim Holtz and Tonic. And I colored the whole thing with a layer of mustard seed, and now I'm going in with a little bit darker yellow in fossilized amber. And then for the shadows, I used a deeper yellow. It's called Wild Honey, and so you can see me adding even more shadows there. So I dry in between each of my layers, and you can hardly see this on my studio mat, but the gray is hickory smoke, and then the black is black soot. And then I went in and I did the blinkers in fired brick. And I wasn't thinking, but I did the headlights in fired brick too. So I fixed that a little later on. So now I'm just using some washi tape to hold my die cuts in place. And I didn't show you that I colored all of the monsters. So these are the distress ink colors that I used for them, kind of monsters going from left to right. So for the orange one, I used Spice Marmalade and Rusty Hinge. And then for the green one in the bottom, Twisted Citron and Peacock Feathers. The green one in the top, Peeled Paint and Mermaid Lagoon. The little one in the center was Broken China and Ripe Persimmon. And then the pink one's, the purple one was Seedless Preserves and Wilted Violet. And the pink one was Red Raspberry. And then the other two were just combinations of some of those same Distress ink colors. Just mix and match. So I got all of the dies onto all of my monsters and the bus, and I die cut them. And I just kind of was putting them here and there to see what I thought. And I realized as I was doing this that some of the outlines on these, if I wanted to fit them in there, I was going to need to trim it just a little bit. So you can see I took my recoil scissors, and the outline dies actually really made this so much faster than it would have been had I had to die cut every single bit of these out. Really, I was able to go in and just make a few little edits here and there on each one of them, and it's so much faster uh, when they were already die cut. So you can see I did trim quite a bit off of the edges of this bus so that I could fit more monsters in. And then you can see the little orange one and the green one with the long neck. I didn't worry about their bodies. I just made sure that I had their heads so that they would be sticking up. And I didn't trim at all the one with the eyes. I left that the way it was. And now I decided that I wanted something on the top of the bus, you know, where it says like where a bus is going or something like that. So in the on the stamp set in the middle of the windshield, there is a sentiment about my dream job is driving the bus. And so I cut out the word bus from that, and I cut out the word O and B from job, and I made it say boo bus. So there I cut out the B and the O and the O, and then I just stamped bus so that it would fit right across there. Now that's how I fixed the lights. I had stamped a second bus, and I just colored them correctly and fussy cut them. And then at the same time, I fussy cut a bumper so that there's just a tiny bit of dimension there. Now I'm going in and trimming off parts of bodies so that I can get these to fit in. So the little blue one, I trimmed off the bottom part of the body. The purple one, I cut the right side of its body so that it would fit flat against the window. And this pink one, I trimmed, like I cut a slit so that the arm would poke over the front of the bus. And now I'm just fitting those heads back behind there. It just takes a little bit of glue. And I'm going to go ahead and put this green one with the eyes sticking up. And I think it's just such a funny bus. Now, I cut down that card front from the Haunted paper pack. And I just did some crazy sewing on there. And so just go around your card front with black thread and your sewing machine, just kind of crazy stitching, don't go straight, and do it about 3 times, go around it, and then you can stick it on a card front. This is an A2 card front, so I did trim down quite a bit from the 6x6 paper. And now I'm ready to start putting all my cute little monsters in that adorable bus. You can kind of see how I fixed those lights, and it's almost ready to put the finishing touches. Look how cute is that blue monster trying to get in the bus, and then we have the little purple one that wants in too. So much fun. For my sentiment, I reached for the You're My Boo stamp set from Whimsy Stamps, and I stamped the big Halloween script word in black soot archival ink, and then underneath in the printing, I stamped Screams in spice marmalade with just a little bit of crackling campfire so that it was orange. And then I used my spring-loaded recoil scissors to do kind of a close fussy cut around the words. And then I decided to put that at the top with the eyes kind of covering it just a little bit. I thought that was kind of a fun little addition, was to have the eyes from that the one monster sticking up over part of the sentiment. So I attached the sentiment and this little purple monster directly to the card base. And then, as you can see, I put a bunch of foam tape behind the bus and all those monsters so that they are popped up just a little bit. So that is taken care of. And then I could attach the little blue monster right to the front as he's stopping the bus to get on. And that was pretty much it for making this card. It was actually really simple. Let's take just a minute to look over a few of the details of the card. So that background paper, I really love that. A little bit of sewing around the edge added some texture. You know, I always love a little machine stitched texture. And I love that "You're My Boo" sentiment at the top there in the two colors with the eyes kind of covering up that little part there at the bottom. I think it's fun. I really like the texture and the dimension that it gives the card to have not only all of the little monsters cut out, but also to have that bust that's popped up. So I think that just gives each of them, you know, their personality a little bit, and just adds some humor to this card. Well, makers, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope that you had some fun and enjoyed the lighthearted nature of this card. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back and to answer them. Also, if you would like any of the great Whimsy products that I use to make this card, those are linked in the description for this video. And please be sure that you're following Whimsy Stamps on all of their social media platforms so you don't miss any of the great inspiration of fabulous products.